I don't really give a fuck if the music is too loud right now. A man's dead. We've just seen Me Too kill a man. And the person responsible is Zoe Quinn. Don't expect nice guys today. My name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm the Hatman, and I'm fucking pissed.
Welcome to the show. Let me just read this letter real quick. This was posted on Twitter by Eileen Mary Holoka, the sister of Alec Holoka, the game developer that Zoe Quinn accused of sexual abuse earlier in the week. It says here, Alec Holoka, my brother and best friend, passed away this morning. Those who know me will know that I believe survivors have already done everything I can to support survivors, those suffering from mental illnesses and those with chronic illnesses. Alec was a victim of abuse, spent a lifetime battling mood and personality disorders. I'll not pretend he was not responsible for causing some harm, but deep down he was a person who only wanted to offer people care and kindness. It took him a while to figure out how. Over the last few years with therapy and medication, Alex has become a new person, the same person he'd always been but without any of the darkness. He was calm and happy, positive and loving. Obviously, change is a slow process and it wasn't perfect, but he was working towards rehabilitation and a better life. In the last few days, he was supported by many Manitoba crisis services, and I want to thank everyone there for their support. I want to thank Adam Saltzman for staying up late talking with us and reminding Alec that he has a future. My family has and always will be the most important thing to me. Please give us time to heal. We tried our best to support Alec, but in the end, he felt he had lost too much. I currently do not see a place for myself in games or on Twitter. I will not be looking at the responses to this post. I appreciate everyone who has reached out to me over the last few days. For anyone who is in a time of darkness, I encourage you to reach out for support. There are always people who will be there for you. Key line is this. Is that he felt he had lost too much. So what happened exactly? Because I did a video on this a few days ago. Zoe Quinn accused this man of sexual abuse. And by also saying that he kept her in his apartment and refusing to buy her a plane ticket out of Manitoba. Basically accused him of false imprisonment. Both of which are felony charges here in the United States. This happened in Canada. I don't know how it is up there. I would assume it's similar. She also claimed that he had her blacklisted from events like the Game Developers Conference. After the reports came out, he was fired from the studio, they distanced themselves from him, and he was effectively canceled. Today, this morning, he committed suicide. Quinn, you cunt. Who has the power here? Am I accusing Zoe Quinn of driving a man to suicide? Yes. I am accusing her. I am accusing every single game journalist who sucked up to her. I am encouraging every comic pro who ever wanted to have her hired at their comic imprint. You attributed to this. You gave her power. And she used it to drive a man to death. There is no other way to look at this. Because the fact is this. Despite her accusations of his misconduct, she never once contacted the police. Never once. In Canada, he would have been thrown in the lockup pretty quickly. Not like the United States. And it's like I said when I did the video. Her responses to what was going on sounded canned. Rehearsed. Like she'd been planning this for a while. My question is very simple. Who really had the power here? Who was it? Was it Holoka? Or was it Quinn? We all know what the answer is. Zoe Quinn sneezes and there's a think piece about it on Polygon. Reset Era will go out of their way to defend her to the end because they think that, she's such a skank that she'll fuck them. Who had the power? It was not Holoka. And she knew that. She knew it from the start. All she has to do is send one email to somebody. And she could have articles in several major left-wing publications. Easily. She sends another email, she gets a comic book. Keep in mind, by the end of this year, Marvel and DC will have both hired her to write a book. Both of them. She has spoken in front of the UN. Do not try to tell me for one fucking second that Holoka had more power than her. Most people didn't even know his name until last week. Cancel culture has killed a man. There's no other way to look at it. It has killed a man. And here's another thing. The fact that the police were never called is a big deal. Because he never got the chance to face his accuser. Ever. Because Quinn knew that if she did what she did, she would destroy him. He would never have a career again. The one thing he ever wanted to do in his own life, which was create video games, would be taken from him instantly. And he would have no chance to defend himself. The only thing that he could do is try to pull a Vic Mignogna. And let's be honest about something. Vic's a rare case. He's a rare case of people getting behind someone to fight back against this sort of thing. This is beyond ridiculous. And this solidifies for me what I have been saying for fucking years now. Social justice. No, cancel culture is social justice. Social justice is a lynch mob. And this man has been lynched. He is dead. A family was deprived of their son because of her. Her actions directly led to his death. There's no other way to look at it. Even if he was guilty, and even if there were other people who he had done this to, the simple fact that he was not taken before a court means that they never got to see justice done for what had happened to them. But again, the simple fact that the police had never been called in, by the way, an area where there is no statute of limitations on sexual assault speaks volumes. And by the way, Quinn has not responded to this because she has nuked all of her social media. Hatman, give us the details on this.
She's privated her Twitter account. Or not even privated it, she straight deleted it. Now, you can always come back. I think you 30 days from deleting a Twitter account before it's like deleted. Her private account at Primate is still active. Apparently her Instagram is still active. I don't know. I don't really do Instagram that much, so I wouldn't fucking know. But someone has said her Instagram is still active but protected. Last thing she tweeted was that she was going to take some time away, or more or less go into hiding. At this point, it is my belief that she will claim that she has been bullied off of social media for supposedly driving an abuser to suicide. So expect, and clip this part of the podcast, because I guarantee you this is going to happen. In the coming days, there will be an article, most likely on Polygon, about how she was bullied off of the internet again because she was accused of abusing her abuser, of punching down, when she's going to claim that such a thing isn't possible, that she is the true victim in all of this. Keep in mind, an accusation made, again, without evidence, without going to the police, trying to invoke mob justice instead of going through the justice system. Because that, let's be real, that's not justice, that's revenge. They're not the same fucking thing. And of course, because everyone loves cancel culture, and because it's so goddamn effective now, a man is dead. Now, I don't know if he's guilty of this shit. I don't. If he was, then justice has not been done and will never be done. There is no closure. Everyone feels shitty. If he was innocent, then an angry mob has driven him to death, and there's blood on their hands. And there is no excuse for that. So let's call it what it is. Cancel culture is legal. It's the legal way to send someone death threats. And that is absolutely appalling. Innocent until proven guilty. And we were going to talk about Alec's lift shits before this thing happened, and how he was accused of abusing women and stuff. And I was going to say, look, innocent until proven guilty. For someone that I'm fairly certain that if you were around during the Gamergate days, you would love to believe that he was an abuser of women. But like we've said with every case that we've handled here, innocent until proven guilty, because that is the standard that we go by here. We do not automatically assume someone's guilt and then demand that they prove themselves innocent. No. The burden of proof is on the accuser. And when you go through the outrage mob, the burden of proof doesn't fucking matter. All that matters is how big your following is and how viral your accusations can go. Because if they go wide enough, oh boy, you're right. Who gives a damn about truth at that point? You can get your way. So who really has the power? We know who has the power. We've known who has the power for 5 years. So this bullshit about, I got blacklisted from GDC, fuck that. That is nonsense. Zoe Quinn is an individual who needs serious psychiatric treatment. She almost certainly has undiagnosed narcissistic personality disorder that is being readily enabled by an entire wing of the gaming press on top of all of her fucking Twitter followers, social media followers. And then you've even got people in comics that are enabling this bullshit too. She is dangerous. Not only a danger to herself, because she has shown business handling, really business in general, money, what projects, whatever, because she's failed at all of them. But now, with this, she is an active danger to other people. If cancel culture should go after anybody, it would be her. But even then, I say don't cancel her, deplatform her. Let her do her own thing. Let her get the treatment that she needs. But don't give her an outlet. Don't let her be as influential as she is. Because she is dangerous. As if the claim that she made years ago about stabbing someone to death wasn't already enough of a red flag. And yet we know what's going to happen. She's the victim. She gets a pity party. And this man, guilty or innocent, dies as a result of her. And everyone who enabled her. Yes, I'm mad. August never ends, does it?
I don't know.
It really never ends. I need a fucking drink again. No one talk about killing her. Nobody talk about abusing her. This is someone who is dangerous because she is running free. She needs help, and she is running free without it. Undiagnosed, almost certainly, like the hallmarks are there. Undiagnosed NPD. I would not be the least bit surprised if she had some sort of antisocial disorder as well. But clear cluster B personality disorders here. She needs treatment, not a platform. I don't know why people are so intent on giving her a platform. don't know. Because vagina, probably. Honestly, I wouldn't be fucking surprised.
Here's what I find disgustingly ironic about this. It's been 5 years since the whole Five Guys drama. 5 years. 5. So for the last 5 years, there have been people in the entertainment industry that have tried to make this woman a star and give her influence and give her everything for some fucking reason.
Mm-hmm.
Reasons I still do not understand. Because she's not very talented. She's not really anything, to be honest with you. Aside from just a nasty human being. My question is this. To the Ben Kucheras of the world, to the Nathan Graysons of the world, you know, to those people, also to the Sana Amanats of the world, and what's his face, who was the head of Vertigo. Was it worth it? What did you get out of it? You didn't make money. Like, Lord knows you're not making money off of her. No, Lord knows she doesn't make money. She took $60,000 from people. And instead of making the game she promised she was going to make, she went to Japan.
And how convenient, too, that she's always the victim somehow. She's always deserving of sympathy.
Yeah.
Despite getting all that money through Kickstarter, despite having multiple comic gigs, she's somehow always broke. She's somehow always in the gutter. There's terrible, terrible things happening to her. I don't make that much money either, but I know how to fucking manage it. He does. Honestly, both are equally likely.
I just want to
And yet
know.
People keep giving her chances.
Well, yeah, that's what I really don't understand. Is what was this worth it at all? Really? Like, now somebody's dead. Somebody is fucking dead. For God's sake. I can't stress that enough. Because these people handed her these things for social justice or for whatever reason, or to get it, man, now one's dead. How many people have to get ruined? How many people have to get destroyed in one way or another for us to understand that there is a reason that we have innocent until proven guilty, why we have due process, why the court of public opinion is fucking stupid? Do more people have to die? Like what has to happen?
We
for
spent
us to realize
5 years. We spent 5 years trying to tell people this shit, and they still haven't learned.
No, they have not.
I don't think they're going to learn from this either.
No, because they want to make her out to be the victim. Because they believe everything she says. Why? On what basis? On what truth has she ever told?
I mean, this is
Her own book was rife with lies.
This is your fucking brain on the progressive stack. Because someone fills in whatever the fuck boxes, their truth matters more than someone else's, even if it's a fucking lie. They're trying to pull a fucking Scarface. I always tell the truth, even when I lie. Fuck that. That's bullshit. And if they honestly cannot tell that it's bullshit, then Jesus Christ, their brains are totally warped. But if they know it's bullshit and they still continue to propagate it, then they are just as fucking culpable as she is.
Exactly. And how many people have seen her lie and have ignored it? Ben Kuchera, Stephen Totillo, Jim Sterling. You know, you can list off game journalists from all over the place who completely ignored the several times that she lied about things.
Mm-hmm.
And like, how many websites have from these big gaming sites? How many of them have reported on her Chuck Tingle game not being done yet? 0.
None of them. How many of them? Let's go back to the whole origin of Zoe's infamy, the Zoe post. How many of them said that it was a quote-unquote screed from a jilted ex-boyfriend in those exact words?
Despite the fact that the people on that list all confirmed they slept with her.
Yes, that was a warning. That's what it was. It was kind of bullshit point of revenge. It's a warning. 5 years later, because the world is dead. Is dead because of her. And everyone who has helped give her a platform over the last 5 years, for whatever the fuck reason, have themselves to blame for this. Had she been able to fade into obscurity, none of this would have happened.
These psychos put her in front of the United Nations. The United Nations, where she spoke out against freedom of speech.
How dare anyone criticize her for her legitimate bullshit? How dare anyone keep her from having absolute power over people? Christ almighty. I don't hate her. As much as I probably should, I don't hate her. I don't really hate anyone, but she just makes me so damn angry. Like, it's like you know what a problem is, and you need to fix it, but you can't personally fix it, and other people can, and you tell someone how to fix it, and they just refuse to. That's what it fucking feels like. It feels like you're trying to tell someone what's wrong, and they're just like, fuck you. I don't care. This is not right. It's not right. And it's not worth it to continue to defend her, to continue to enable her. It's not worth it. Jesus. Just let her fade into obscurity like she deserves. Let her go off and do her own thing, waste her own money, live however the hell she wants, and stop giving her power. Because clearly, when she has power, people get hurt.
Yeah, I was on War campaign last night. I was talking to those guys, and Ro and I got into this discussion about why social justice warriors act the way that they do, and so on and so forth. And I said that when it comes right down to it, there are people that believe that the only way to build themselves up is to do so by destroying other people. Zoe Quinn is the prime example of this type of a person. Everything that she has ever done, all of her fame, we can't say fortune because she's broke, but all of her fame on the internet is completely and totally comprised of times where she played the victim and the media let her have it. They never, and this is the general problem with the media today, is that when these sorts of things happen, people are completely and totally unwilling to question whether or not this particular woman is telling the truth. Whether it is someone like Christine Blasey Ford or if it's Zoe Quinn. They will never question it. Or Johnny Depp's wife.
Amber
look how that planned out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was months. People were trying to cancel Johnny Depp for months until it turned out that no, Amber Heard was actually the one who abused him.
Yeah.
There's your bit of red pill for this podcast. But Mike, people in the chat are saying that she needs to be held accountable for this. I agree. She either needs to go to prison for manslaughter, or she needs to be in psychiatric care. She needs to be institutionalized.
The Canadians will never do any of that to her.
Of course fucking not.
Because they're spineless.
Of course not.
We need to think of something else here. So what's the way forward? We always, you and I, Hatman, ever since we started these podcasts, we always try to suggest ways forward. And when it comes right down to it, I'm going to be completely and totally frank. We cannot and should never, should not expect the Canadian government to have any sort of fucking balls here.
No, absolutely not.
But on top of that, here's what we do. Every single person here has a voice. Every single person here has a wallet. Every single one of us. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to use that voice. And we're going to let people understand exactly what they have done. Every single person that you see in the gaming press or anything like that have enabled Zoe Quinn, that have tried to put her into the public, just don't let them forget. Just say the following to them. You promoted Zoe Quinn. Zoe Quinn drove a man to his death. That's it. All you have to say. Over and over again.
Do not let them forget.
There's more to this. Things like this. I'm obviously doing a video on this. The Quartering's already done a video on it. Do not let them forget. Share the information. Put it everywhere you can. Put it on Kotaku in action. Put it on Tumblr in action. Put it on just about any just other place. Put it even in libertarian and conservative subreddits. Put it on social media. Put it on Facebook. Things like that. Make sure that the whole fucking world knows that Zoe Quinn was promoted by the left-leaning media, and now Zoe Quinn has drove a man to suicide.
Zoe Quinn, the people who enabled her, everyone contributed to this.
Yes, everyone.
Reset Era, anyone who promoted this story without doing any level of fact checking at all, equally responsible.
It goes beyond that. I think that this goes back 5 years to everybody who claimed that she was a victim, despite the fact that she abused Aaron Joney and several other people. Despite the fact that she has stolen money, despite the fact all this, and their inability or unwillingness to cover the truth has enabled her and has brought us to this moment right here today. Actions have consequences. When you promote people like this, when you do not seek truth, when you are unwilling to expose the truth about evil people, they will continue to do evil things, and then people will suffer. A family has lost their son. The writers of Kotaku, the writers of Polygon, the writers of all these other big name websites, GameSpot,
Fox,
whoever else,
Vice,
all of them
who
promoted her. And then the people in the comics industry, like Sana Amanat, they need to be reminded of what they have enabled. You know, and of course I'm going to say Jim Sterling, because Jim Sterling enabled her too. Do not let them forget this. Leave comments in their YouTube sections. Things along those lines, or in their websites. Make sure that it doesn't happen. Find out the politicians who liked her. Don't let anyone in the public forget that they enabled this shit. I don't remember the name of the Democratic politician. I want to say it was Christian Gillibrand.
No, it was not. It wasn't Gillibrand.
It wasn't Gillibrand. Well, it was somebody, but some representative from, I want to say it was Massachusetts.
Yeah.
But make sure that they don't forget. Movie Bob, do not let him forget that
Catherine Clark.
Catherine Clark. If you are in her district, it is time to find the guy who's on the opposite side of the aisle that is campaigning against her and get her out of office. Do not let this stuff sit. And if nothing else, if you can do nothing else, help those of us who are trying to get the truth out there, get it out there. Because sometimes there are some of us, myself included, we feel like we're fighting one-man wars here. I said it at an ICMI, I'm going to say it again. Help us!
Keep in mind, we're not making any statements about whether or not Alec Holoka is guilty or innocent.
We don't know, and we'll never know.
We don't know. We're saying that justice has been actively prevented because of her, because of the people who enabled her.
On top of that, it seems that the way she acted, she tried to circumvent it.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Actually, there is a legal term for this. Obstruction of justice.
And we'll never know the truth. And,
we won't.
Somebody brought up Alex Lifshitz in the chat. We're never going to know the truth about him either, because
No,
all
we
the
won't.
people around him are liars. How do you know, in a den of snakes, how do you know which one is telling you the truth?
It's a boy who cried wolf situation. We will never, ever be able to know the truth about these people because we've been fed lies by them for years.
Yes, and
so we don't know what the hell to believe anymore.
And here's the thing. The press are 120% culpable for this.
Absolutely.
They have allowed this den of snakes to breed. You supported them unilaterally and unquestioningly. You bunch of cowards. I'm disgusted by this.
I am too.
Beyond disgusted. But I'm not going to forget it.
No.
All right. We're going to go into Q&A. Didn't really get the chance to do anything else for this one, but I think that what we've said, what needs to be said here.
Yeah. This needed to be said.
Yeah.
I mean, this event derailed pretty much everything that we had set up for the entertainment podcast. Again, we were going to talk about the Alex Lifshitz allegations too, but this is much more important. This is a truth that needs to be delivered to the people. I mean, the ones that need to hear this probably won't give a fuck. But that's where you guys come in.
Exactly.
Don't let them get away with this. Do not.
There were two small donations we got during the course of it, so thank you, Servant of God, for those. He said, first, is this a murder by proxy charge? Second, she's just become the best reason to bring back mental asylums. You could make the argument.
Yeah. Murder by proxy. Legally, this could be considered manslaughter.
It'd be a hard case to make.
It would be, but it depends on what jurisdiction you're in. Canada, probably not, because Canada.
Yeah. Like I said, I expect the Canadian government to do zero things.
Yeah.
It is going to be up to us to do something. And like I said, it's simple. Starve them, and don't let them forget why you're starving them. I wish I could talk about other stuff that's going on, but there's nothing I can really say. This is the forefront of my mind. So if there's any questions before we do Q&A of are we going to talk about X, Y, or Z, it's already been 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just go ahead and get to Q&A. Try to discuss this as best we can. So Holy Ninja Toe asks, best anime ending song. I don't really stick around for the ending songs. I guess if I had to pick one, it'd be the one from Trigun. Hatman, do you have a pick for that?
What was the question?
Best anime ending credits song.
Fucking hell, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I always think of Fly Me to the Moon from Ava. But...
You ran out of money too, didn't you, you bastards? Alright. Zion the Blank asks, have either of us played The Darkness 1 and 2 or read the comics? What'd you think of them? Comics were okay. The first game is brilliant. In fact, hold on a second. I do still have it. Still have my original copy. It's a great game. Second game I wasn't that impressed by, but the first one, oh man. It is... That was a Starbreeze Studios game. I think it's their best one. Serena just donated a couple bucks. Hi, Serena. What makes it so depressing is that she knows women's like that in real life, and she's worked with some of them. Yeah, I've met a few too. There are just some women out there that think it's perfectly fine to just destroy people like this. My ex-wife was one of them. Now you guys know why I hate this sort of thing so much. I've been the victim of it. Well, thankfully, I'm still here, but I almost wasn't. You can thank a weak belt buckle or an act of God for the fact that I'm still alive today. I think that's it from the patrons and donations and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Tom the Fish from the chat asks, should we buy A Night in the Woods as an act of solidarity, or does that undermine the message? No. Because, again, we don't know the truth of the situation, so I wouldn't...
Well, even then, they throw him under the bus, too.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
Exactly. They fired him.
Yeah.
They didn't even investigate before they got rid of him. They just got rid of him.
No.
Fuck them. Koopa's Revenge asks, you helped found blisteredthumbs.net. How do we go about starting our own games press to starve out and kill the media that enabled a woman to cause a man's death? Well, the goal of Blistered Thumbs at the start was to provide the alternative because we didn't think that the games media was willing to tell the truth about the games that were being put out there. As Joe even put it, we want to destroy the shill media by providing good competition. And we were doing that, and that's what we have to do, is we have to create competition. The good thing about it is that there are plenty of YouTubers out there that are working very, very hard to try to provide news and coverage of these things, and they don't get into these sorts of things. They don't try to make stars of these people. Sid Alpha is a really good example of that. One person that I really enjoy that never comments on the political stuff in video games is Maximilian. Never talks about it, and I thank him for that, because that's my little refuge when it comes to, if I want to know the new stuff that's going on in fighting games or some of the games that I like, that's where I go. I don't go to video game websites anymore. Fuck that. After Tech Raptor stabbed me in the fucking back, I'm never going to another video game site and reading them. And that's not against people like at Games Nosher or others that put out good stuff. I know that Brandon Orselli is a really good dude at Niche Gamer as well. But I'm never going to another video game website. Support the people who are giving you truth. And also support the people who are willing to not make stars out of these psychopaths. Why do I not own a shot glass?
I don't know. I think you need one at this point.
Yeah. Could we see a Zoe Quinn as it? No. I'm not making a t-shirt out of this. I'm not trying. No. Nothing like that. That would come across like I'm trying to take advantage of a man's death. I don't want to do that. I just want to fight. Because that's what I do. Tyler Preston says, speaking of blistered thumbs, Mars Girl was talking shit about it, especially this chick called Holly Christine. Oh, Holly deserves 0 kind words, trust me. Holly was the higher up at Channel Awesome that Eli Symet got the ear of and inevitably used her to get me and Joe kicked off of that website. Holly Christine is a terrible human being. Mars Girl is too. They're cut from the same cloth. But I'm not gonna, if they want to destroy one another, I say go for it. I'll be cheering. I'll be part of the crowd that wins when they both get, when they're done, when they're off the internet. Because it is people like that really aren't any different than Zoe Quinn. They destroy people. And there are some people like me who are just too fucking stubborn to die. But there's others that aren't. There's others that just want to entertain people. There's others that just want to do good things. And maybe they're broken people like this kid was. Because he sounded to me, by the way what his sister talked, he was a broken man. That abuse hurt him. And in turn, he did hurt other people at points. And people like that don't need this shit. They need counseling. They need therapy. They need loved ones to be around them all the time and remind them that there is a reason that they are here. Because these terrible things are just simply allowed to happen. And here's something that I need to be honest about. This isn't the end of it. This should be a moment where everybody wakes up about cancel culture and does not give it an inch anymore. It should be that moment, but it will not be. The fact of the matter is that more good people will get accused of terrible things. And if it is not possible, and this will answer Talon's question, the good people who are accused of these terrible things must be stood up for, must be lifted up, must be reminded by the whole world around them that they are supported and that they are loved, and that they will not allow these evil people to destroy them. The same sort of energy that was given to someone like a Vic Mignogna has to happen for more people out there. And for future accusations, even if we don't like the people that are being accused, even if they're not really great people, we need to question the truth of those statements. We need to demand evidence. We need to demand that this sees a courtroom. The way to stop cancel culture is not to give into it. There are some accusations levied at Pro Jared ended up not being true. And I don't think that Pro Jared's a good guy, by the way.
No,
I watched his video and I'm like, dude, you still cheated on your wife. You didn't fuck kids. Do you want a cookie?
I suppose we do owe Pro Jared a bit of an apology.
For part of it.
For part of it. I still say having a nudes blog with your fans is a very massive abuse of power and trust. You should not do that.
Yeah.
Especially when you have no idea how to validate someone's age. But
just because they say they're 19 and they might look 19 doesn't mean that they look 19.
Exactly. Like it's still a crime there.
I looked 20 when I was 16.
Yeah. I mean,
now I look 20 as I'm 34, but still.
I will readily apologize for contributing to the cancel culture mob as a result of all this. But at the same time, I don't think he's totally innocent.
No, he's not.
But I will absolutely apologize for the whole he's a fucking pedophile. I don't think he is, but
not a good person.
Yeah. No, I still don't think he's. I'll say this: I still did not resubscribe to him afterwards.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that.
Hatman, I really wish you didn't have to do stuff after this podcast, because I really want to kill some shit in Gears of War now.
I don't blame you, man. I really, really don't. But unfortunately, there's books to edit and stuff. I actually got... Here's some good news for you guys. I actually got a paid editing gig. As in, somebody got connected to me, found out that I was an editor, and was like, "Hey, I'd like you to edit my book. The edit is due next Tuesday, but can you get this done?" And I said, "Yeah." It paid, as in real money. So that's something good, at least.
Yeah.
And also, Englewood is funded.
Yes, it is.
Englewood, continue to back Englewood because, we're in demand and stuff. But good news. We need some good news, for God's sake.
Yeah, we have enough money to get everything shipped out to you guys. Yes. And to get all the materials and to pay the artists the exact page rate that I promised them and everything. I'm going to have to letter the book myself, but I've wanted to learn how to do it anyways. If you guys can help us get to the $15,000 stretch goal, I can hire a letterer to do it instead.
And don't forget, stretch goals are still active. So if we get, it's under $1,000 now, but if we hit the $10,000 mark, every physical copy gets the Solomon's Temple sticker.
Yep. And at $15K, I'm going to go out to North Carolina before we ship them, and I'm going to sign every single comic.
He will come to the production facility and sign everything. But yes, Englewood is happening, people. That is some good news in all of this. It's happening. You will all get the comic book. If you backed it, of course.
Yep. Oh, man. I'm tired.
The Hat Factory. It's not a hat factory, though. I'm trying to actually get more hats like mine embroidered. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but if it is, maybe something you put on the shop. I don't know. Then again, I don't know if I want any of you guys being the Hat Man too.
Yeah. We'll just make hats that just say "Not the Hat Man" on them.
I am not the Hat Man, or I am the fake Hat Man. Oh, man. Do we got time for one more question before we close out, or we've
only got 15 seconds. So if you did not get your question answered, the mods are here. Tag Hardboiled Entertainment or Brainbox. I think both of them are here. I don't remember. And then we'll get your questions for the overflow and go from there. So yeah, we're still gonna do the politics podcast. I'm very tired, so give me some time to get it set up. But we will still be doing it. So.
Yep. And yes, Ultimate Agent, we did hear about the Funimation leaks. We'll talk about those on the overflow. That was one of our topics for today, but of course, more pressing matters took precedence.
Yeah, the only thing I can say about that for now is that the voice actress of Chi-Chi could sell a CD of Chi-Chi making sex noises and probably make $1 million. So yeah, just saying. All right. Oh, Serena sent another donation. I'm sorry. I'm really fucked in the head right now, Serena. Let's see here. Oh, she said, sorry this brought you back to a dark place and reminds you of your darkest moment. I'm glad you survived and are here to remind us where there's darkness, there's light in the world. Thank you, Micah. Well, thank you, Serena. Mm-hmm. I appreciate it. So, all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and take off. We will return with some political stuff and things along those lines. So stick around, give us a little bit longer, maybe like a half hour, and we will be right back. But until then, my name is Micah Curtis.
And I'm Alec Spaulding, and I'm still fucking pissed.
Yeah, we'll see you soon. Dave's fault.
Dave's fault.